As Dimuth Karunaratne approaches his 100th and final test match of his career, let's take a look at the performances of some legendary Sri Lankan players in their last test matches, including the overall results. Firstly, we have Arjuna Ranatunga, often regarded as the godfather of Sri Lanka's cricketing success in the mid-1990s. Ranatunga played his last game in 2000s against South Africa at his home ground, SSC. After announcing his retirement in advance, he played 2 series against Pakistan and South Africa. During this period, he scored 4 half-centuries in his last 8 innings. One of these notable innings was when he scored 88 runs, almost single-handedly leading Sri Lanka to victory against South Africa, demonstrating that even at the age of 36, he still had the stamina and skill to perform at a high level. In his final innings, he remained unbeaten on 28 runs, and the match ended in a draw. Ultimately, the series between the two teams concluded with a 1-1 draw. Next, we have the legendary Aravinda de Silva, who was closely associated with Ranatunga. 2 years after Ranatunga's retirement, Aravinda made his final test appearance at Pisara Stadium against Bangladesh. He made this occasion truly memorable by scoring a double century, paving the way for a comfortable Sri Lankan victory. Similar to Ranatunga, Aravinda also did not reach the milestone of 100 test matches in his career. Moving from Aravinda, we next look at Sanath Jayasuriya. After previously retiring once, Sanath came back to Test cricket and eventually decided to call it a day in during the first test against England at Asgiria. Sanath made his last appearance a memorable one by scoring 78 runs in his final test innings. The most memorable moment of that innings was him hitting 6 consecutive 4s off Jimmy Anderson in 1 over. Additionally, during this game, Murali broke the world record for the most test wickets, and it was also the last international game played at Asgiria Stadium. Sanath left the game as the first Sri Lankan cricketer to play 100 test matches, approximately 1 month before Sanath Jayasuriya's farewell match. His long-standing opening partner Marvan Atapattu announced his retirement from Test cricket, thus concluding his international career. Unlike his former opening partner Sanath, Marvan didn't get to play 100 test match. Marvan's final test match took place in Hobart, Australia, where he performed commendably, scoring an innings of 80 runs. In their effort to chase a daunting target of 507, the Sri Lankan team was eventually dismissed for 407 runs, with Kumar Sangakkara delivering a memorable performance. Approximately 1 year after the retirements of Marvan Atapattu and Sanath Jayasuriya, Chaminda Vaas, one of Sri Lanka cricket's finest players, announced his test retirement against Pakistan at the SSC. The match concluded in a draw, with Vaas securing 1 wicket, although he continued to be available for one-day internationals. The farewell tributes he received following this game somewhat alleviated the disappointment of not receiving a proper send-off later. The next notable retirement was that of the legendary Muttiah Muralitharan. True to his extraordinary career, which faced numerous challenges, Muralitharan opted to retire after the first match of the 3-match series against India in 2010. Despite needing to take 8 wickets in his final game to reach 800 test wickets, Muralitharan achieved this remarkable feat, leading Sri Lanka to a memorable victory and further cementing his legacy as one of the greatest cricketers. In 2013, 2 more Sri Lankan greats concluded their test careers. Thilan Samaraweera announced his retirement from international cricket after being excluded from the squad for the series against Bangladesh. Consequently, he did not receive a proper farewell match, and his final innings was a 0 against Australia. Later that same year, Tilakaratne Dilshan also announced his retirement. Due to the immediate nature of his announcement, he too did not have a farewell game for Test cricket. However, unlike Samaraweera, Dilshan was given a proper send-off for other formats in 2016. His last innings in Test cricket was a half-century against Bangladesh match Sri Lanka won. A year later, another Sri Lankan cricket legend concluded his Test career. Mahela Jayawardene retired from Test cricket after the series against Pakistan. He finished his career on a bittersweet note, with Sri Lanka winning the second Test and ultimately the series, while Mahela scored 54 runs in his final innings. However, he was just 36 runs short of the score needed to maintain his average above 50%. In contrast, Mahela received a more favorable farewell compared to the next 2 Sri Lankan greats. Kumar Sangakkara, who was the country's most consistent and prolific run scorer, struggled in his final series, managing only 32 and 18 in his last 2 innings. Additionally, Sri Lanka lost the match. The last of these legends, Sangakkara and Herath, who had been a pivotal figure in Sri Lanka's bowling attack post-Muralitharan's retirement for over 8 years, retired in 2018 during the first test at Galle against England. Herath took 3 wickets in the game, but it was not enough to prevent a Sri Lankan defeat. Among these cricket legends, only Sanath Jayasuriya, Muttiah Muralitharan, Chaminda Vaas, Mahela Jayawardene, and Kumar Sangakkara played 100 or more tests for Sri Lanka. In this context, Dimuth Karunaratne has an excellent opportunity with his 100th career test. The focus now is on ending his career in a memorable manner. It is hoped that his teammates will support him for a victorious send-off, and personally, Dimuth needs to deliver another memorable performance. If Dimuth can score 148 more runs in his next innings, he will end his career with an average of 40. Here's wishing him a memorable and enjoyable final game.